And this square really points to us making room for the impossible. We are really asked to look in our own life. Where are we limiting ourselves? Where are you not seeing all the possibilities? Because Neptune is all the possibilities. Now, when we are in Gemini and in Sagittarius, we are very aligned with the here and now, right? The 3D reality. Neptune in Pisces has nothing to do with the 3D reality. Neptune in Pisces is all the way out there. Now, for Gemini and Sagittarius to catch up with that, it's a bit of a stretch. So seeing the beauty in the bigger picture, that's basically what Mercury is all about right now. This is a full moon that really tickles that adventurer in us. Because remember, the ruler of the moon is in Sagittarius right now. The ruler of the moon, Mercury, is also in a beautiful trine with Mars. What is Mars? Mars, our masculine energy. Mars is how we get what we want. What's Mars doing right now? Well, Mars is in retrograde. Mars is looking for something. Mars, at this moment, Mars doesn't really know what he is looking for because the retrograde just started. But there is this inward journey, really reviewing the masculine energy. So again, this is for you, for me, for all of us. We are reviewing our masculine energy and also the man in our life, specifically a woman, right? What do we want from the man in our life? How do we want them to show up? And who do we have to be for a man like that to show up for us, right? It's not just the other side. It's not just like, yeah, I want a man that does this, that. No, who do you have to be if that's what you want? Good morning, my loves. Welcome back. So today we're talking about the full moon in Gemini, the last full moon of the year. And I know on this channel we haven't talked about astrology in a while. Now I've got a lot of requests to make this video, so here we are. We're making this video. And we are going to talk about the moon in general, but also I will touch on what this moon will have in store energetically for each rising sign. You can also look at your sun sign. So when I say Gemini Rising, if you're a Gemini Rising, you obviously know this is for you, but also if you're a Gemini Sun, you should have a listen as well, because this energy will affect you as well. And it's up to you how you implement it in your life. The full moon in Gemini. And like I already said, last moon of the year. It's happening on Sunday, the 15th of December. It's generally, I would say, a happy-go-lucky moon. I always call this moon happy-go-lucky moon because, it's Gemini. It's a bubbly moon. It's a fun moon. It's like we are all inclined to spend more time with the people around us. We are more social. And even if we are not more social in actually going out, we will be on the phone. We will be chatting away with people much more. So the ruler of this moon is Mercury. Mercury is coming out of retrograde right now, and we're in the middle of the stationing phase. So this is a very potent Mercury. We need to remember right now, Jupiter and Mercury are having a mutual reception going on, because Jupiter is a Mercury land, Mercury is in Jupiter land. So there is an affinity here, and these two get to know the other side a little better. And they are also getting to understand the other side in a way that if you use it correctly for yourself is very, very beneficial. So seeing the beauty in the bigger picture, that's basically what Mercury is all about right now. Before the moon entered 23 degrees, where it is the full moon, it met with Jupiter. So Jupiter was the last planet in conjunction with the moon before the moon was full. We're talking about a Jupiterian infused moon, a moon that is inclined to see the bigger picture, even though we are in Gemini, we are in the neighborhood, right? But the moon is inclined to be open to see the bigger picture, the wider world. We get more clarity. This is a full moon that really tickles that adventurer in us. Because remember, the ruler of the moon is in Sagittarius right now. The ruler of the moon, Mercury, is also in a beautiful trine with Mars. What is Mars? Mars, our masculine energy. Mars is how we get what we want. What's Mars doing right now? Well, Mars is in retrograde. Mars is looking for something. Mars, at this moment, Mars doesn't really know what he is looking for because the retrograde just started. But there is this inward journey, really reviewing the masculine energy. So again, this is for you, for me, for all of us. We are reviewing our masculine energy and also the man in our life, specifically a woman, right? What do we want from the man in our life? How do we want them to show up? And who do we have to be for a man like that to show up for us, right? It's not just the other side. It's not just like, yeah, I want a man that does this, that. No, who do you have to be if that's what you want? So that is one layer of this Mars retrograde. But obviously, we're not talking about the Mars retrograde here. But it plays a role, right? It plays into it because it has an aspect to the ruler of this full moon. The other main aspect here, I would say, is the Neptune square. Now, it's not an exact square. Nonetheless, it's a square. So Neptune is squaring the moon and the sun. And this square really points to us making room for the impossible. And that is going to be a push and pull because, again, there's a square, right? The square is like, no, I don't want to. Why should I do this? I don't want to do this. I don't believe this. I don't, No. That's the square. But we are really asked to look in our own life. Where are we limiting ourselves? So where are you self-sabotaging yourself? Where are you saying, no, I can't do this, I can't do that, this is not possible, this is not possible, this is not possible, oh my God, this is also not possible. Where are you not seeing all the possibilities? Because Neptune is all the possibilities. Now, when we are in Gemini and in Sagittarius, we are very aligned with the here and now, right? The 3D reality. Neptune in Pisces has nothing to do with the 3D reality. Neptune in Pisces is all the way out there. Now, for Gemini and Sagittarius to catch up with that, it's a bit of a stretch, but that is what the square is all about. Can you stretch yourself and then also feel the possibilities? Now, let's get into the signs because this is otherwise going to be a very long video again. Aries Rising. For you, my lovely Aries, obviously this moon falls into your third house. The third house is quite literally your neighborhood, your neighbors, your social circle, the people you surround yourself with on a day-to-day basis, really. It also tells us about your siblings, your aunts, your uncles. So your immediate family also plays a role here. And you cannot forget, the third house is early life education, right? The stuff that sits really deep, the stuff that has been ingrained even before you went to school, right? Like what you've learned from your parents, from your family, that's all in there. And that's not necessarily bad, right? That can be a good thing. But if it hinders and limits you to move forward, to get what you want, then you've got to have a good look. And this moon is asking you to have a good look at this area. Where are you limiting yourself based on what you believe about life and what you can have and how you can live and where you can live? So this is a moon where conversations may come up. This is literally a very conversational moon, right? A very communicative moon because we are talking about Gemini. A lot of talking, but make sure you're really getting to the point because Gemini sometimes does not get to the point. Gemini goes from here to here to there to there to there, right? You really want to get to the point and get to, the root of the thing that is hindering you in, your life to grow, to evolve, to have different friendships, whatever it is for you. And this could also be a time where you want to re-educate yourself. Basic education comes to mind here, not philosophical kind of things, it's something basic, and not basic as in negligent, but basic as in foundational. Something foundational that you can really use in your day-to-day life. Then we have Taurus. For you, this is a moon that falls into your second house, the house of worth and value. And we really are talking about worth and value on all planes, right? The inner world, the worthiness that you hold, the way you value yourself, the value you place onto yourself, and how that translates in the external, right? In your immediate surrounding, not just really in your immediate surrounding, but in your life. Like because we can only attract what we are able to hold. That also is connected to what you believe you can have, right? What is possible for you, right? We talked about all the possibilities, Neptune, all the possibilities. But how much of that are you able to really allow into your life? So money is probably going to be a big topic, but also really, this really relates to value, what you value in your life, core values. What is valuable for you? And also, how much do you value yourself without having to do something for it, right? Without having to justify you're worthy of this because you worked really hard, or you did this, or you did that. The second house is value and worth and value that is inherent. We don't have to do anything for it. You're valuable, period. You don't have to go to school and have just A+ grades. You don't have to, work really hard to be worthy, right? The worth comes first. Doesn't mean that, you can't work hard. Work hard. But that is, it's another conversation. We are talking about innate worthiness. You came here worthy. Period, the end, right? Finished. There's nothing more to say. This is it. But we have such a hard time to understand that, because the question we ask in the society very often is like, oh, do they deserve it? Do they not deserve it? And we see that in all areas, right? The rich, the poor, who deserves what? Well, we all deserve everything. That is like that worthiness, we deserve it. But that is really very rarely a conversation, because we live in the Saturnian world where hard work needs to be done in order to deserve the thing we want. And then we attach this deservingness to the value we can have in life. But we really need to detangle all of that. If we want to build something of value, we gotta understand that that value is already within us before we start doing whatever we're gonna do, right? Because the doing really needs to be inspired in order for you to really feel fulfilled. It's all connected, that the worthiness, the internal worthiness, the deserving, the feeling of deserving, the getting, the action we take to do the thing, and then the joy, the bliss, and the peacefulness we feel. It's all connected, and it's all inside first before we go. I mean, can you make money by doing things that you don't like doing? Of course. Can you make money with doing things that aren't inspired action? Absolutely. I mean, probably most people on this planet do that. But how truly, fully fulfilled, you know what I mean, can you be on all levels without having to say, oh, you can't have it all. You can't have it all. You can't possibly have it all. Well, yeah, definitely you can't have it all if you believe you can't have it all. I mean, that's just it. It's not a line. So no, you then can't have it all. But that question is really a question that everyone has to answer for themselves, and you have to find that answer within you. And again, this has to do with the container, right? Most people have a container issue because the container is small, so we can only hold a little bit. And maybe we feel a little worthy. So, we allow ourselves to have, we are open to a little to come in. And again, there's no right or wrong here. We're not talking about right or wrong. We're just talking about things on a very basic, fundamental level. There's no right and wrong. Because at the end of the day, you decide what's right and what's wrong for you again. But this is getting out of hand here again, Taurus. So we got to move on to Gemini. Gemini Rising. For you, this is the first house full moon. And we are talking about life direction, but also your understanding or the way you see the world, the way you see your world. With the full moon in the first house every year, once a year, we really get to have a more expanded look at what's going on in our lives. And, sometimes that means we want to change direction, or we want to adjust things in our lives so we get on course again, because maybe we get off course. And now we get a chance to maybe have some conversations, or maybe through conversation we get to see what is going on and where we have to realign ourselves. So this is I would say a big moon for you, also because it squares your 10th house, which is your purpose work, right? Your purpose in your life. Usually also we find our vocation, our profession in there. And with the sun in the 7th house, you know, there might be some light shedded onto your relationship and what isn't fully aligned there. Where do you have to, you know, maybe adjust a few things? Doesn't mean you have to leave the relationship or you have to give up the relationship or anything, but where do you have to maybe adjust things so, you know, everything is on course again for you to move towards your, you know, your bigger vision. Again, maybe this is also a time where you talk about your bigger vision with family and friends, or maybe even with your partner. Then Cancer Rising, 12th house moon. Now, you guys are probably the ones during this full moon that maybe are not that chatty. That are maybe for you, it's more about taking yourself back and retreating, really looking inward, really checking what is true for you now. And I know this is like a kind of like a very generalized statement, but what is true for you now in terms of the direction you want to go? What are you going to leave behind? Because the 12th house also is the place where we renew ourselves. We renew ourselves and we plant new seeds. And for that, we have to understand that whatever happened in the past yesterday is the past as well. So everything until now is the past. And all of that, what do we want to take forward with us? And what do we want to release, because it isn't going to serve us wherever we are going. Mercury is also the planet of thinking, and so this might be a time where you reflect and think about that a lot. So maybe you also have some conversations with people, but I think you probably might not be as social this weekend. And remember, Mercury is in Sagittarius right now, so I think the bigger vision for you is going to be a huge topic, the bigger vision for your life. And again, what seeds you want to plant now, because we are going to go through the dark moon phase now. The waning moon is starting right after the full moon. And this is a phase where we start planting seeds. Because remember, you take a seed and you plant it in earth and it's dark there, you know, and you can't really see what's going on down there until you see the sprouting. But that takes a moment. But again, before you plant the seed, really be sure what kind of soil you want to plant that seed in. You know, what kind of seed do you have, and what does this seed need to be nourished? And how can you nourish this seed? You know, what type of soil would nourish that seed? Leo Rising, for you, this is 11th house and 11th house full moon. I think your friends are going to be in the focus here. And I think your friends are going to be in the focus in a way where you think about where you want to go next with your friends. And I mean that on the broader scale. I mean this. I see the bigger vision here. But remember, Mercury, the ruler of this moon, is in Sagittarius, the bigger vision. Your friends that you currently have in your life, can you see them with you where you're going? Can you go where you're going with your friends? Or maybe is there some release necessary? Or maybe some conversations? Or maybe, maybe you need to make room within yourself for new friendships. Again, I'm not saying release your friends, cut your friends out, absolutely not, but just understand that we are all growing, right, in life. This is the whole point of life, it's growth, right? We start as a little cell and now look at us, we are fully formed human beings. And in order to grow further, our circle is important, right? Community is important, because we are more or less the sum of the people that we surround ourselves with, right? Our environment shapes us. Now, what environment do you need in order to go where you want to go and in order to live fulfilled there? What kind of people do you need around you? Besides that, I also think this is a beautiful time for celebration for you. Celebrating with your friend, having a good time, having some fun. This is a really a beautiful moon for you every year, where, you know, you're asked to interact with the people in your life. But again, also spend some time thinking about where you want to go next, and what environment, what community, what community you want there, what friendship circle do you need and want to be surrounded by. Then Virgo and Virgo Rising, my lovely Virgos. Now for you, this is the 10th house moon. We are talking about your purpose. We are talking about what fulfills you. We are talking about the work you do. And I'm not just saying the work as in, you know, you go to the office every day and then at the end of the month you get your check, your payment. This is a beautiful time every year for you, because the energy in your 10th house is high. It's everything is lit up, right? It's lit up. Now, what are you going to do with it? And I really mean, what are you going to do with this high potent energy? How are you going to use it? Also ask yourself, when it comes to work, specifically, you know, you as a Virgo rising, are you making room for joy and fun in that area as well? Or is it just like work? Remember, the duality of Gemini is there is the part of like the jovial, like, oh, let's just have fun, we want to just have a good time. And then there's this part that is more intellectual. You know, there's these two sides. And how do you implement these two sides in your work, in your purpose? Do you feel the purpose in your day-to-day work, what you do for a living? Also, the question is, what does it mean for you, purpose? What gives you purpose? And this can change throughout life, right? You know, there are times specifically for women, you know, when we are in motherhood, that's our purpose then. But then when the kids are leaving the nest, then what is your purpose then, right? So things shift and change. So really ask yourself, where are you at right now with all of that? Then Libra Rising, 9th house transit. I love the full moon in the 9th house because it really is the big vision for life, right? What's your next big vision? That is really the question here. What's your next big vision for your life? Where are you going? Remember, the 9th house is the opening for the 10th house. The 10th house is our purpose, where we go to fulfill our purpose, right? It tells us a lot about our purpose work. But before we get there, we got to get through the 9th house. And there we are opening, right? We are widening our container. And the question for you is like, where are you limiting yourself? Where are you limiting yourself right now in your life? This can relate to your work, right? The way you work. This can also relate to other areas of your life. But generally, on the broader scale, we are talking about your beliefs. You know, really try to find and identify limiting beliefs in your life. Where are you limiting yourself? You know, where are you saying, oh, I can't do this because the government, or my religion, or my boyfriend, or my husband? You know, again, these are limiting beliefs. And where do you need to be, you know, where do you need to open up a little more? You know, allowing yourself to see beyond those beliefs. Because remember, Neptune squaring this moon, this full moon, so the sun and the moon is squared by Neptune. Neptune, all the possibilities. The sun and the moon in Gemini and Sagittarius are very limited because they are very 3D. Neptune has nothing to do with the 3D. So how can you access that realm, that 4D, 5D, 6D, whatever D, all the Ds behind the 3D? How can you access that? That's the question here. Maybe you want to journal about that, your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, where you limit yourself, where you have to really stretch your container a little more. Then Scorpio Rising, 8th house transit. I think this is going to be a deeper one for you. And by deeper, I mean this is going down the rabbit hole a little deeper, right? I know you might already be down there, but you're asked to go a little deeper, shine the light a little brighter in the deeper, darker areas where you haven't looked, where you haven't allowed yourself to look because you didn't want to deal with what might be there in your life. So this is really a very deep inward journey. Again, I think this can also relate to your masculine energy, where you are not balanced, within your masculine and feminine. And this obviously is a very personal journey here. Everyone has a different journey within that, right? Maybe also, there's like conversations about relationships. I think the relationship's going to be a big topic here for most of us too. I mean, relationships are always a big topic, I know. But I think what I'm trying to say here is energetically, we can really utilize this energy for relationships in a really beautiful way, because having conversations about the masculine energy in our lives, whatever that means for all of us, right? This can relate to your partner, the man in your life, but this can also relate to your masculine energy inside of you, because we all, man, woman, we all have masculine energy, no matter what we identify as, right? We have masculine energy. Masculine and feminine energy is in everything, literally in everything. So yeah, maybe this, for you, this could also be a time where you maybe step back a little and review, where you're at right now and where you want to go from here. Bigger vision, right? This is a moon where we look at the bigger vision because, like I said, Mercury is stationing direct in Sagittarius, the bigger vision for life. Now, next one is, what do we have? Sagittarius and Sagittarius Rising. For you, this moon is in the 7th house. So for you, this is definitely going to relate to relationships. This can be your romantic relationship. But this can also be a business partnership, or this can be a relationship with someone that you've known for a long time, someone that is very, very close to you. And, maybe things need to be worked through, talked through, up-leveled, realigned. And this is a beautiful time to really take it and run with it, really go there. Again, Mars is in a beautiful alignment with Mercury here, so I think that masculine energy is going to, even though masculine energy is in retrograde, I think the masculine energy is going to be open to hear other perspectives, right? There's an openness here. Capricorn Rising, 6th house transit. We're talking about your health and your day-to-day routine and how these two go together, or how they are not going together, how your day-to-day routine maybe is affecting your health in a way that should be looked at, right? Where do you have to readjust maybe your day or your health routine in order to live a fuller, healthier and happier and more aligned and peaceful life? This 6th house also relates to service, so that might be a topic for you in some shape or form. Service, I mean, it's a big topic, right? This can relate to, service on the level of partnership, but also service on the level of, serving in your work, because the 6th house also talks about or tells us a lot about our day-to-day life and how we work, right? Our work routine, we're going to the office or, the shop, wherever we work. And how we go about that, and where we maybe have to change things so we can feel healthier. So really look at your health. And again, I'm not saying this to scare anyone. This is actually the opposite, right? Because we want to always look at life from the perspective of, we are given this beautiful existence. And of course, we are given this beautiful existence so we can live a beautiful, happy, healthy life. And if right now we don't have that happy, healthy life, well, what needs to be adjusted in our life so we can go back there, instead of like saying, oh, I'm feeling so bad, and oh, my back hurts, and my knee, and my this, and my that. No, yeah, that might be, but a solution, right? We want to look for the solution. This is also a Gemini. Mercury, the inquisitive mind, wants to find solutions. What can we do to feel better? Do we have to work out every day? Do we have to do yoga? Do we have to get massages? Do we have to eat better? Do we have to stop drinking? What is it for you? Aquarius Rising, 5th house transit. I love the 5th house. 5th house is the house of your creative self-expression, but it's also the house of love, and children fall into this area as well. And children really relate to create the process of creation, but also love, right? They are made that way. Not always, I know, but generally, you know, children are pure love, and we feel pure love for our children. There's this purity there. So there's a very pure energy in the 5th house. And when we have a full moon in this area, now we are asked to look for the purity in our life. Like, where do we, you know, where are things a little convoluted? You know, where do we have to you know, maybe make some space and room again for love, and also for your creative self-expression. This can, of course, if you have children, also relate to your children in some shape or form. But obviously the children is not going to be relevant for everyone. But love is going to be relevant for everyone. And again, love starts with yourself, self-love. This is also what this whole month is all about here on my channel. We are talking about self-love. We are talking about you know, the transformative journey, and transformative journey starts with loving yourself deeply and fully. Then last but not least, Pisces Rising. For you, this is a 4th house transit. Now, family, home, your home, where you live, how you live there, but also your ancestry, you know, your family line. And it's funny, I'm a Virgo Rising, right? So for me, obviously, 10th house, very relevant, but I'm also a Pisces Sun. Now, I also look at this full moon from that perspective. So when I look at it from that perspective, full moon in the 4th house. And very interesting, I haven't been in my home country for years. And this weekend on the full moon, I am flying home. So I'm literally going home. So that is a very literal translation of this full moon for me as well. So I'm going home to my family, and we'll see what will unfold there. But yeah, so for you, this is a moon that is asking you to take a better look at this area. Also, you're asked to, you know, when it comes to family, what do you want for your family? Where do you want to take your family? Bigger vision, right? Mercury in Sagittarius, Mercury ruling this moon. Mercury is asking you to look at the bigger vision for this, for this area, for your family, your home. How do you want to live? Where do you want to live? Maybe you want to, you know, move. Really have a good look, and maybe have some conversations with your loved ones about that as well this coming weekend. So that's it for today. If you have any questions about this full moon, please feel free to ask in the comment section. If you have any other questions, or if you want a personal reading, you can book it by clicking on the link in the description box. And anything else, I'm here for you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.